All right. Good evening. Welcome to Price Plan Profit. I'm Melissa, and I thought it would be cool to do a little trade recap of my SPX trades today. I haven't done a trade recap in a while, so I thought I would share with you how I have been trading SPX. If you've watched any of my other trade recaps, it is nothing different. I was teaching on the mic in the trendy room and SPX room today at Simpler Trading, so I did not have any trades the first hour or so of the market. My first trade actually came here at the 11:54 candle, this on a 3-minute time frame. This zone was found on the 5-minute time frame using Fibonacci levels. What I'm looking for once price hits this zone is I am looking for a higher low and then a break above the body of that higher low candle, which came here at 12 o'clock Eastern time. This is where I entered the trade. The stop is a lower low. The first trim was up here at 6730.4, where I got a trim. At that point, I put in a break even stop. I was break even stopped out right back here. So just one trim, one collected profits on a 3-point move here. And then the remaining contracts were stopped out at break even. So that was my first trade of the day. And then I got another opportunity. Again, waiting for a price to pull back into my zone, which we did that here at 12:12 p.m. Then on the next 3-minute candle, we created a higher low. A break above the body of that higher low was my entry. Again, I trimmed at 6730.4 for another about 3 or 4 points of profit this time on the trade. I was in a meeting and would probably have been break even stopped out on this candle, but because I was in a meeting, I was okay with the amount of risk on the trade. I was confident that this buy zone was a valid buy zone, so I wasn't stressed out. I got an alert up here at 6736.23, which was a key Fibonacci level that I was focused on for today before that sell zone up here. And so once that alert went off, I went and put a tight trail stop on the trade and exited up here for a nice 11 points on that remaining contract. So that was a great trade there for my second trade of the day. Now I'm going to delete these markings since I went over both of those trades, and we're going to look ahead for that next trade. That next trade came here in my sell zone where we created this high, then a lower high. Still, the high remained in place. I was looking for a break of 67.41, or actually 42. I got the break right here on this candle. I only bought one contract. Now, why did I only buy one contract? Because the trend of the day was to the upside. And if I'm counter trend trading, I keep it only half allocation and I take my profits at targets. So in this case, I entered at 67.42 on this candle. My target was 3 points below here at 67.39, and that's where I exited that contract, giving me a small win there of about 200, or no, it was $110 there on that quick short from the sell zone. My next trade came again on the sell zone here. So We created the high up here at 6744.35. The next 3-minute candle created a lower high. A break below 6742 was the trigger. I again traded this down to that 6739 level. In this trade, I was able to buy 2 contracts due to the time of the day and the cost of the contracts I was purchasing were within that half allocation since it was a counter trend trade. So I trimmed here and then I exited the trade here at 67.3623 on this candle here. I could have done a trailing stop and probably collected 100 or so more dollars of profit. But again, it was a counter trend. The trend of the day was bullish. I was trading to the downside. And so at this 67.36 target, I went ahead and collected profits right there. My next trim came here. This was a Fibonacci zone that I had measured from the recent rally. So if I go back over to this recent rally right here and show you the Fibonacci's, you will see that this zone, this trade came into the golden pocket, the 50 and the 618. That is why I went with a call to the upside on this trade right here. We created a low in that zone. We created a higher low. My entry was here at, me 1 second, was here at 6735.73 once we broke above that body. And because this is a sell zone, I trimmed this out right here. And then I went ahead and exited up here near the highs on that second contract. So another winner this time in calls. So I've had a couple of call trades earlier in the day, a couple of put trades, or one put trade here and one put trade here. And then I traded back to the upside in these calls. Next up was a put trade, and this trade played out like this. Again, we are in a sell zone, right? And once we created this lower high inside of the sell zone, we got the break below the body of that candle. I trimmed at 67.3573 and exited at the same level I exited before, 67.34.48. Now, remember, as I drew those fibs on there, this was a golden pocket, so I was taking my profits in the golden pocket area. The last trade that I had was actually an end of day trade. The founder of Simpler Trading, which is a company that I work for, John Carter, has a trade that he trades at the end of the day at 2:52 p.m. Central Time, which would be 3:52 Eastern. I love this trade. I buy calls if we are in a buy zone. I buy puts if we are in a sell zone. I like to buy at or in the money puts in this case because we were in this sell zone up here at 67.42. I had a bid in to buy this. It was $2.75 is how much I paid for the 67.45 puts inside of the sell zone here at that 252 mark. What I do on these end of day trades is I'm just trying to get a double. So if I paid 275 for it, I'm going to exit it at 550. In this case, I happen to catch a nice big down candle. And so even though I had a bid in to sell at 550, it actually sold at 620. So this was the final trade for me for today. So, really nice trade, simply trading my buy and sell zones that I learned from Trendy John. If you're not a member of the Trendy Trading Room, super excited. We are doing a webinar on Wednesday of this week. So, Wednesday, October 22nd at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time, where we are going to talk about the challenge of the year, and it is going to be 30 days of consistent education on how we find buy and sell zones, how we use Fibonacci to trade levels, and a focus on how to journal your trades to become a more disciplined and consistent trader. So be sure you check us out for that webinar on Wednesday. We would love to see you in the Trendy Trading Room at Simpler Trading. In the meantime, have an awesome evening, and I will see you on the next video.